Hi there. I think I accidentally hit this live while I was trying to get my little daughter up here. Hi, Hazel. How are you? Say hi to Facebook. You got me, Skip Bayless, coming to you live from the west side of Los Angeles, about a mile from where we will do Undisputed tomorrow morning, 9:30 noon Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Final thoughts on what we are about to watch here. Hazel says hi. This is my little year and 3-month-old Maltese. Ernestine is out grocery shopping. I'm going to put Hazel back down. Thank you very much. Hang on, let me turn this sound down real quick. Hang on. Okay, got that. There's no way Ernestine wants to be anywhere near me, especially while I am watching a Super Bowl. So I watch it in a Super Bowl party of one. Just me, myself, and I. As in me, myself, and Isaiah Thomas. But that's a whole nother issue. I will not touch LeBron James and the Cavaliers today. I doubt we will touch them tomorrow on Undisputed. We will be wall-to-wall Super Bowl. Hazel, come on, come on. I'm trying to get Hazel out of the way, but I think she wants to listen. And I must admit, slept on it again last night. Final thought. I don't love Tom Brady off the field. There are a lot of things I don't even like about him off the field. I've been fascinated by Tom versus time, but I haven't loved the thrust of it on the week before playing these Philadelphia Eagles, who are serious business. It's brazen, it's bold, it's in their faces. It's, here I am, come and get me. This is how I do it. I have found the way. I am beating Father Time. It just feels a little wrong to me, and I'm just being objective about this because I have the greatest respect for Tom Brady as a performer. He's the greatest clutch performer in the history of sports, and I hate to say it because I'm the biggest Michael Jordan fan, but it ain't even close. Jordan was too good for his own good. Never even faced a Game 7 in the 6 finals that he won with 6 finals MVPs. And I know the clutch shots. I was there the night in Utah that he held the pose. It's the only picture memorabilia that I have. It's hanging on the wall right around the corner from me right now. And I was there when he pushed off slightly Brian Russell and beat Utah with that last-second shots. And I got the faces of horror I can see in the picture of the Utah Jazz fans. He did it to us again. I know he beat Craig Elo with the last-second shot. I know he beat Georgetown with the last-second shot when he was a freshman at North Carolina. I get all that. But Tom Brady is 5 for 5 in Super Bowl games. Super Bowls with game-winning fourth-quarter drives. Think about that. 5 for 5. 5 rings with 5 fourth-quarter or overtime game-winning drives. That's beyond comprehension. That is preposterously great. Does he get credit for it? No. People just don't like him. They're sick of him. They're tired of him. They think he's a phony. They think he's not manly or macho enough. I don't care about any of that. I just know he's the greatest quarterback ever and the greatest clutch performer ever. But I don't know. Has he gone over to the edge? Here, let me let Hazel out. You can go. There you go. Has he gone over to the edge into what I call like religious zealotry? He's so on fire, so sort of religion on his sleeve, so to speak, about the training methods, the breakthroughs of his trainer, Alex Guerrero, where they've figured out things that nobody else gets or wants to understand, that he's gone over the edge into arrogance that's going to come back around to bite him. I don't know. No quarterback has ever, this is a statistical karmic problem, but no quarterback's ever led the league in passing and then gone to win a Super Bowl. Brady led it in 2007, and you know what happened in the Super Bowl at the end of that year? Tyree happened. Eli closing his eyes and throwing as far as he could happened. After a game-winning drive that looked like Tom had engineered in that game. 80 yards, 12 plays, 2:42 left, 6-yard pass to Randy Moss. Congrats, Randy, you're in the Hall of Fame. And it looked like that was it, 14-10 Patriots. And then the Tyree play happened, and Eli called it on Undisputed last year at the Super Bowl. Yeah, it was the luckiest play in Super Bowl history. He basically closed his eyes and flung it after avoiding 3 sacks, and he's not even mobile. I don't know how it happened, but it happened, and that it took that to beat Tom Brady and cancel that game-winning drive. So now we've got Brady on top of Tom versus time. He wins the MVP, so now it's like you win the Heisman Trophy and you go play the bowl game and the other team's just out of their minds fired up to put you back in your place. Then I see Belichick show up, even though he's Thibodeau's buddy, but at the T-Wolves game on Thursday night, and it just seems so un-Belichickian to show up like we got this in the bag. And there have been reports that they're very confident. I saw Rodney Harrison say just now on NBC, Brady came up and gave him a kiss, which he gives everybody a kiss. That's just the way he is. All of his close friends, when he hadn't seen them in a while, I've heard from several of them, he just comes up and plants a wet one on their cheek. It's just how he's built. It's just who he is. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I don't even care. It's just how he is. But it struck Rodney Harrison, who should have made the Tyree play, by the way. It struck him on NBC as pretty confident. And then Tom gave him a little wink. Like, we got this. I don't know, man. It just feels... It feels like they are tempting fate, daring karma to finally get back at them. The 283 diamond Super Bowl ring last year that PO'd Arthur Blank at Robert Kraft. You know, kind of rubbing it in on us because it was 28-3 Atlanta, and then all of a sudden Brady happened. 246 yards passing in the fourth quarter and overtime. I've said all week on Undisputed, I fear the Eagles because they're a really good team and they're better overall than Belichick's team. I don't love Belichick's defense. It's bend, but don't break. And if you look at the defensive efficiency stats, DVOA, I don't want to get into all the depth, but it's the second level defensive stats. They rank 31st in the league. Now, if you just go on points allowed, they were 5th. That'll work, but they just bend like crazy. And I respect Nick Foles. 66 touchdown passes to 29 in his career. Postseason 3 games, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He torched the number 1 defense, albeit in Philadelphia, the Minnesota defense last 2 weeks ago, obviously, in the NFC Championship game. He won't choke. He won't be Nick Foles DS in this game. He'll play well. So, once again, to me, it's just going to come down to, can Tom Brady figure out the combination to the lock on the Philly defense? It is serious business because it can rush the passer, and it goes like 8 deep in the defensive front, where they won't get tired the way Atlanta did. They won't get tired the way Seattle did in the previous Super Bowl. Cliff Averill got concussed in that game, and it was a big deal. I'm the first to admit it. And last year, Atlanta just wasn't deep enough in its rush front to keep coming off after Brady when it really mattered in the fourth quarter and overtime. Just ran out of gas. Will Philly run out of gas? It doesn't look like it, because when you can bring Derek Barnett and Chris Long off the bench, I know Timmy Jernigan has had some flu issues, but still, they're deep. Fletcher Cox is a monster. If he can do the Malik Jackson and blow up the middle of the protection and push Brady off his spot fairly consistently, it's going to be a long, hard game for Tom Brady. I don't care if he's 40 or 22. He just won MVP because he's playing like he's 28. And yet, there's this Brady-Belichick clash that's going on now. Reports come out. Some people think this will be their last hurrah, that we're about to witness the last. And it won't be Tom's last hurrah. It'll be Belichick's. Would he step away? I don't know. Would I be surprised? No, I wouldn't be surprised, because he got stepped on. He lost the power struggle. He lost to Tom Brady because the owner had to say, okay, I'm going to have to choose between the coach and the quarterback. And he chose the quarterback, his son Tommy. He chose him, man. He stepped on Bill Belichick. And he's won just as many Super Bowl rings as Brady has. But Robert Kraft made the right choice. And yet, Bill Belichick's a proud man. He's got a little devious scoundrel in him, as we've seen with the cheating accusations and the one big scandal, obviously Spygate. And yet, I just wouldn't be surprised if Belichick called it a day and walked away. It wouldn't shock me. It would surprise me. It just wouldn't shock me. But the point is, all this is hanging over this football team right now, and it doesn't feel great to me. I'm not nearly as confident as I was a week ago about this game, because if you can get after Tom Brady, you can control Tom Brady. We saw it in the AFC Championship game at Denver back in 2015. We saw it in the 2 Eli Super Bowls. And they're not close, Belichick and Brady. But if, and I said this last night, and I'm going to say it again, I think there's a little part of Belichick that wouldn't mind losing today because he lost the power struggle. And there's just, I'm going to call it like 20% of him just wouldn't mind. I mean, he's got 5 rings already, and it would help prove him right if he could step back, sit back and say, Mr. Kraft, I told you. Maybe today he could make a case that Tom hit the wall at age 40. I don't think that's going to happen. I just think it's going to be a hard game. Eagles coming out now, fired up. It feels, I hope I'm wrong about this score, but it feels like it's going to be similar to the first Eli game when the Patriots were high-flying, high-scoring, broke all the records in 2007. Plaxico predicted it was going to be a low score like 23-17, and everybody laughed, including Brady, at him. And then it wound up, what was the final? 17-14. I called it 2017 Patriots because I think it's going to be scratch and claw all day long for both teams. I don't think Nick Foles will be great. I just think it'll be pretty good. And I could see him being held to 17. But in the end, it's just going to have to be Tom Brady again. It's going to take another game-winning, this time field goal drive by Gostkowski. I don't always trust. He's had his demonic brain issues where he's gone a little kicker south this year a couple times. He's had his slumps. He's had his doubts. But I do think he would make the one that counts, and I think he's going to make that one today. I think Tom Brady's going to have to be great late one more time. I think the Eagles are going to battle their guts out. I think they're playing with underdog momentum. I think they're playing with rage against the GOAT who's been in their face all week with Tom versus Time. I'm sure they've all watched a bunch of Tom versus Times, almost as their motivational film last night. I just think it's going to be down to the wire, barn burner. I mean, hasn't every Brady Super Bowl, all 7 of them have gone to the wire. All 7, close in the fourth quarter. So I'm going to say it again. Some people think it's going to be higher scoring. I don't. I think scratch and claw on both sides. I respect the heck out of the Eagles. I fear the Eagles today. I fear the arrogance of the Patriots today. And yet, in the end, I'm just going to believe in number 12 one last time this time. Not that he's going to walk away, because I could see him playing 4 more years. But in this game, against this hot opponent, one more time, I should say. One more time, Brady does it again and pulls it out of the fire, because that is going to be necessary against that team. I will speak to you soon after this one ends. And I'll say it one more time. I have never been in all my Super Bowls. My first one that I covered was Super Bowl 10 in Miami. It was the first Dallas-Pittsburgh Super Bowl. Staubach versus Terry Bradshaw and company, obviously. So I go way back. And obviously I've been watching the Super Bowls back to Joe Namath and before. I've watched all the Super Bowls. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And I've never been more fired up, intrigued, edge of seat by any Super Bowl other than this one, more than this one. None. I'm ready, I think. I'll talk to you soon after the game. Go Brady.